What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamasek. So today I wanted to do an initial review here with the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, but there is no better way than to look at this phone with the Galaxy S21 Ultra, because come on, let's get real over here. Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, S21 Ultra, we all know where Xiaomi is heading towards with that name and of course that spec sheet. So what we are going to do today is check out both of these two phones side by side, check out the key specs and features, and hopefully help you to decide which Ultra phone to choose by end of this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So in the first few parts over here, we are just going to briefly go through some of the specs and features, because I feel that these are not the deciding factors to make someone choose one phone over the other. So let's just talk about the build and design on both of these two phones. Over here on the S21 Ultra, you have your Gorilla Glass Victus on the front, and on the back over here on the Mi 11 Ultra, you only have it on the front. But on the back over here, you do have your ceramic glass. As you can see, it's super reflective, and you can get a lot of fingerprint smudges over here compared to the S21 Ultra. It does look and feel pretty premium, I would say, but then again, like I said, even if you slap on a clear case on it, you're gonna get a lot of fingerprint smudges and it does look pretty ugly. But overall, in terms of just durability, in terms of premiumness, in terms of the overall build and design, both of them are pretty equal. Now let's talk about the display and speakers on both of these two phones, and I gotta give props to Xiaomi for making one of their best and closest looking displays to the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Of course, the colors here are most similar on both of these two phones. Clarity, sharpness, everything you want to name it, everything you expect from a flagship display, you're gonna get it on both of these two phones. Yes, the Mi 11 Ultra does have a brighter peak brightness compared to the S21 Ultra, so it does help if you are in a place like me over here in Malaysia where it gets super sunny. But then again, 90% of the time I am indoors anyway, so that extra brightness may not be so important, but it of course is always a good thing to have a brighter screen. One thing though that I was pretty disappointed is the MEMC chip over here, which you don't have it on the S21 Ultra. I did enjoy it a lot on the OnePlus 8 Pro, but over here with the Mi 11 Ultra, it does look a bit more clunky. It does give me a bit of headache, and I don't really use it that much. Now let's talk about the stereo speakers on both of these two phones. On the S21 Ultra, it's tuned by AKG, whereas on the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, it's sound by Harman and Kardon. But to be honest, even if I used a $200 or $300 or $400 phone with a stereo speaker setup, it would sound pretty similar. Yes, they do get pretty loud, bass is good, clarity is good, overall watching content you won't be disappointed, but they do not necessarily have a sound signature which is distinguishable between both of these two phones. Sorry about that. So I gotta say, yes, speakers are really great, but one thing I don't like about the Mi 11 Ultra is the fact that they do put it on the sides over here. So in terms of if you are gaming or if you're just watching content and using both your hands, you may be blocking the speakers, which is pretty annoying. Next up here, we're going to talk about the battery and charging on both these two phones. So both of them do have a 5000 milliamps of battery. In terms of battery performance, both of them are very good. They give me about 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, which does give me a full day battery. But I would say the Mi 11 Ultra would give me more juice at the end of the day compared to the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And at the end of the day, what you can do is just top up the battery over here. And of course, over here with the Mi 11 Ultra, this one automatically beats the S21 Ultra. 67 watts of wired charging to beat over here that 25 watts of fast charging. So over here as well, you do have a wired charging and also a fast wireless charging as well, but this is pretty much useless because it's very hard to get that 67 watts of wireless charger over here. Even in Malaysia, I tried to find it, but I couldn't, so it's pretty hard to get that proprietary wireless charger, so it's pretty much useless. And of course, both of these two phones, they do support reverse wireless charging as well. Talking about the battery performance, let's just talk about the overall performance on both of these two phones. So over here on the Mi 11 Ultra, you have your Snapdragon 888 as we know, and over here on the S21 Ultra, the Exynos 2100 because it's here in Malaysia. Overall performance on both of these two phones are very similar. Not much lag, not much heating on both of these two phones with just social media consumption, with just some light gaming here and there. And like I said, it does give me about 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. So in that time frame, both of them do perform very similarly. But what I gotta say is that yes, if you are into a bit more gaming, I would advise you to get the Snapdragon 888 phone. It could be the Mi 11 Ultra or some other phone, because I feel that with the Snapdragon, it does give you a better gaming performance. And of course, if you want a better battery performance as well, I think the 888 is more powerful and more power efficient, and it has proven that over the years. So yes, I would actually go for that. But I wouldn't say that the Exynos 2100 is a bad chipset overall. If you guys want to know a little bit more, you can check out my videos with the S21 Ultra. Next up here are the stuff that I think would be the deciding factor to make someone choose one phone over the other. The first, of course, is the software. So over here on the S21 Ultra, it's running ONEUI 3.1, whereas over here on the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, it's running MIUI 12, both on top of Android 11. I may be a bit biased over here, but I'm going with the Samsung device. If you're using a device like the S10, S20, Note 20, S10, or even the Tab S6 or S7 and you want to go to the S21, you would definitely feel at home. Everything over here feels very consistent, very uniform across the board. It's not something I would say I can say about the MIUI 12 over here. Over recently, over the past few weeks, we have had the Poco F3, we had the X3 Pro as well. We had a lot of Xiaomi devices, and what I noticed is that the features you're going to find on those phones may not necessarily be on other phones as well, and especially over here on the Mi 11 Ultra. Certain stuff like the double tap to lock and even the picture-in-picture doesn't really work very well over here, but it does work really well on my Poco phones like the X3 Pro and the Poco F3. This is something pretty annoying, seeing that this is the ultimate flagship phone, so definitely it has to have every feature and everything needs to work as the ultimate best. So it's pretty disappointing with the Mi 11 Ultra that it doesn't feel that consistent and that uniform compared to the ONEUI you're going to find over here on Samsung devices. And also, not to mention, with ONEUI 3.1, you got your DeX mode, you got your Samsung Pay, so many more extra features that you're not gonna get with MIUI 12. Next up here, yes, let's talk about those cameras. And over here on the back, as you can see with the sizes, both of them are pretty similar with a huge camera bump. In terms of just numbers and specs, both of them again are very similar. On the Mi 11 Ultra, you have your 50 megapixel main lens Samsung sensor Gen 2, a 48 megapixel ultra wide and a 48 megapixel telephoto lens. Over on the S21 Ultra, you have two telephoto lenses. You have your main lens, which is at 100 megapixel, and also an ultra wide lens. What I gotta say is that in broad daylight, both of them do give you excellent shots. Night mode as well is very good. But I gotta say, with these Samsung devices again, and it could be due to the software, it feels more consistent and more uniform across the board when you're going through different lighting conditions, when you're taking portrait shots, selfie shots. It does give you a better photo range compared to the Mi 11 Ultra, which is a bit of a hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes it does perform very well compared to the S21 Ultra, but overall I gotta say the S21 Ultra does give you better overall shots. Yes, the Mi 11 Ultra does have more features in terms of the camera modes. It also does have your 120 times zoom, which is pretty much useless. But overall, like I said, in terms of the S21 Ultra, better shots and better overall video compared to the Mi 11 Ultra. If you guys want to know a little bit more about the camera comparisons, I will leave a link in the description up above and also down below for a more in-depth look into the cameras. So yes, do check it out in the links up above and down below. So lastly, over here are the prices. Over here on the S21 Ultra, initially at the launch, it was being sold at about 5,300 ringgit, which is about 1,300 USD. You can get one now for about 4,800 ringgit, which is about 1,200 USD. And if you compare this over here at the launch price, 4,300 ringgit, which is about maybe 1,050 to 1,100 dollars. That's what you're gonna get on both of these two phones in terms of prices. For me personally, I would pay the extra 100 bucks or the 400 ringgit to get the Galaxy S21 Ultra for that better software and also the better cameras. But of course, these are just my thoughts and my opinions on why I think the S21 Ultra is the better Ultra phone compared to the Mi 11 Ultra. Do leave your comments and also your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's just have a nice chit chat down there. Of course, do leave a comment down below as well if you are planning to get the Mi 11 Ultra or still in a bit of a dilemma. So yes, if you did find this video helpful and you did enjoy this, do click the like and smash that subscribe button down below for more videos like this in the future. Do also follow me on my social as well on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also here on YouTube at Dr. Hames Tech. So that is it. This is Dr. Hames Tech. Stay safe, take care, and wash those hands.